Enshrining parental rights in human rights legislation, as Bill 44 proposes, is either a deliberate attempt to undermine Alberta's public education system or a thoughtless, unintended consequence of social conservatism. Not only does this legislation guarantee a get-out-of-class free card, but there is an expectation that the teacher stop, drop, and roll over the lesson to provide an immediate alternative learning experience for the objector. To the Premier, why has the majority of the Conservative caucus decreed that a minority tail wag its dogma at the expense of Alberta's public education system? Does a religious right make an Alberta education wrong?
The Honourable Premier.
Mr. Speaker, the Minister of Education responded to the allegations yesterday, and I'll ask him to respond in the House.
Honourable Minister.
Mr. Speaker, what is being proposed in the Human Rights Act merely puts into the Human Rights Act, which is something which is already in practice, not only in Alberta, but I believe in many places. Under the School Act, a parent can exempt their children from religious study. Under the policies mandated by the Department of Education under the Human Sexuality Education Policy, schools are required to inform parents through letters or meetings when sensitive or human sexuality topics will be discussed in their child's class. Parents must be given the opportunity to request.
And I appreciate that. This is the question period, not a time for debate.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. There are existing exemptions available to parents, including private schools, charter schools, homeschooling, and opt-out provisions currently within the School Act. What is the justification for allowing our universal public education system to be held hostage by the social conservatives in this Tory caucus?
The Honourable Minister.
Mr. Speaker, nothing of the sort is happening. Parents always are expected to have a strong role in the education of their children. In fact, parents are responsible for their children. At the beginning of every year, in fact, schools have Meet the Teacher nights and open houses so that parents can be invited in and understand the curriculum that their children are being taught. There are specific areas where parents are required to be informed. One is with respect to teaching about human sexuality. Sex ed has always been the case. It's been a very sensitive subject, and when it's taught, it's required that parents be informed, and they have the right to exempt their child. That happens now. Nothing will change.
Member.
Again to the Premier, or he can pass it off to the Education Minister at his will. Don't students and teachers have the right to follow the publicly approved curriculum without the looming spectre of accusations of intolerance? Isn't that what public school system is meant to be?
The Honourable Minister.
Mr. Speaker, sex education has always been something that is a family value, and we expect those family values to be maintained. Schools have a role in making sure students have appropriate information in accordance with the curriculum, and the curriculum is a public health curriculum when it comes to when it comes to, the junior high health program. In those cases, because sexual education is a sensitive issue and a family issue, parents are informed, and they've always had the right to request that their child be exempted from sexual education in school.